Welcome viewers, if still you're not subscribed to this channel, kindly subscribe and also click the bell icon to get technology updates regularly on this JP Infotech channel.
Hi, in this video we are going to see about a Java project which is entitled as Privacy Preserving Electronic Ticket Scheme with Attribute Based Credentials, which is an IEEE transaction on dependable and secure computing, July-August 2021. So before seeing the execution of the project, let me brief about the project. So here in the paper, the authors have proposed a concept where providing a secured electronic ticketing scheme which satisfies both the user part and the service provider part. So whenever there is a web service, so there is a two kinds of entities, that is user part and web services part. So user parts thinks that their information, that is their personal information, sensitive informations like age, professional location, they can be, this can be disclosed to the service provider, and this may provide some privacy to the user. And from the other end, that is the service provider part, they thinks about the access violations of the user. So for example, the service provider may give access to particular user, but that can be used multiple times, or that can be used by different users. So that kind of issues are available. So to overcome these kinds of things, so the authors have proposed a concept where the privacy preserving and also the access violations verifications are also done using this electronic scheme. So here the authors use the contributions like users can buy different tickets from different sellers, and also two tickets of the same users cannot be linked. A ticket cannot be transferred from one user to another user, and ticket cannot be double spent. So these are the things that have been contributed by the authors, and let us see the model. So here in the model you can see the entities like user, verifier, ticket seller, and the central authority. And now let us see the execution of the project. So we have developed this project in NetBeans IDE 8.2. So just open to NetBeans IDE 8.2 and go to File menu and click Open Project. Now go to the source code location. And click Open Project. Now kindly wait till the complete project is loaded into the NetBeans IDE. So for the first time it takes some time. So meanwhile, let me attach the database in the MySQL. So just go to MySQL administrator, log in with the credentials. Now go to the restore option and then click Open Backup button. So now go to the source code location. So in the database folder, you can just select the database and click Start Restore. Now you can see the restoration operation was finished successful message, and click Close. Now you can close this MySQL administrator part. So before going to the NetBeans part, so now let me turn off the antivirus and firewall, because in this project we will be having the keys. So keys will be sent to the user email ID. So just let me stop for temporarily. So just you need to turn off your antivirus and firewall, because default it will be in on state only. So now let me turn off temporarily. In case if you are not turning off this antivirus or firewall in your PC, you will not receive the email. So now let me go to the NetBeans part. You can see the now it has been completely loaded into the IDE. So just right click it and select run. And now kindly wait till the project is loaded into the browser part. It takes some time. And now you can see the project is loaded into the browser part, and here you can see the home screen or welcome screen of the project with the project title, privacy preserving electronic ticket scheme with attribute based credentials, and the abstract that is mentioned as in the base paper. And now you can see the entities: user, ticket seller, central authority, and verifier part. So first let me go to the user part. So in the user login, you will be having the email ID, private key, and the password. So once if you are registered, you need to get an approval from the central authority. Then only you will be getting the private key. Only after getting the private key, the user can able to log in. So first let me go to the registration part. So just click register button, and here you can see the user registration page. So in the user registration page, enter your name, email ID, date of birth, gender, phone number, address, and the password. Now click sign up, and now you can see the registration is success. Even if the registration is success, you cannot able to log in to the user login because you don't have a private key now. So first go to the central authority part, and log in with the credentials. So once the login is successful, you can see the welcome screen of the central authority, and now you can see the users menu here. Just click the users menu here, and once if you click the user menu, you can see the user ID, name, date of birth, email ID, phone number, address, status, and action. Here you can see the user Jayaprakash, which the details have been given by me right now, and here you can see the status is been waiting because this user registered now and still the approval is not given. So just let me click approve. So once after clicking, you can see it is been updated to approved, and now you can see the table is also been updated to approved part. So now let me log out from the central authority part. So only if the central authority approves, the user can able to log in. So first let me go to the user login. So here you need to enter your email ID, which you have used during the registration part, and for the private key you need to go to your email. So here you can see you will be receiving a mail. So here you can see, hi Jayaprakash, your registration is approved. So on the private key, so just use this private key and your password. Now click login, and here you can see the login is successful, and click OK. And once the login is successful, it will be navigated to the welcome screen of the user, and here you can see the username, and there you can see all files, download files, and logout. So now let me log out from this user part. Now let me go to the ticket seller part. So here in the ticket seller login, you can also see the same thing, that is email, private key, and the password. So first thing is like you wanted to register, and also central authority should approve it. So you can just here you can see the ticket seller and the user is being approved from the central authority. So now let me go to the registration part. So in the registration part, ticket seller registration part, so the seller should register themselves. So let me register as saying as JP Infotech. So email ID, and click sign up, and the registration is success now. And as we did in the user part, the ticket seller is also been not approved by the central authority. So just go to the central authority to make the ticket seller approved. Just log in with the central authority, and once after login, go to the ticket sellers menu. So in the ticket sellers, you can see the ticket seller details with the seller ID, name, date of birth, email, phone number, address, status, and action. So here you can see the name JP Infotech here, and here you can see the status is been waiting. So just click approve to approve it. and now you can see it has been approved. And now let me log out and go to the ticket seller part. So now you need to enter the ticket seller email ID which you have used during the registration part, and for the private key you need to go to your mail, and here you can see, hi JP Infotech, your ticket seller registration is approved, and the private key is, and you need to use this private key and log in. And now you can see the login is successful, and click OK. And once the login is successful, it will be navigated to the welcome screen of the ticket seller, and in the ticket seller part you can see upload file, my file, requested files, and logout. So here I'm going to create a service like uploading a file and the user can see it, and what is the policy like that. So let me show you that. So just go to file upload part. So let me create some file with the project name. So let me go to D drive, create some file saying testing project, and just put this title here. So I have created a sample file. You can create any file like that. And now let me select the file which is in the D drive. Now select the file, and you can preview the file content here in the preview file option, and just click upload. And once if you click upload, you can see the file is uploaded successful message, and click OK. And if you go to my files part, you can see what are all the file that is uploaded by this seller is been updated here, and with the file ID, file name, and uploaded date and time. And now with the requested files, you can see it has been empty because no one has requested this file. So now let me log out and go to the user part. So in the user part, you can see all files option. Just if you click all files option, you can see what are all the file that is provided by all the sellers is been available. So here you can see the seller JP Infotech, file name is testing project.txt, and what is the date and time uploaded. Here you can see other seller also which was created earlier, and it has been updated here. So once if the user wanted a particular file, they can able to request them directly. So just click request option, and once it's requested, just you will log out from this part, and let me go to the ticket seller part and see what happens. And if you go to the requested files option, and here you can see the requested files option. Earlier it was empty, and now you can see the details, that is file name, username, requested date, status, access policy, approve and reject. And now you can see two things here. The status is awaiting, so because still we have not approved it, the ticket seller has not approved it, so they can able to approve it or reject it. And another thing is like before approving, in case if they are approving, you can see the access policy here. So here we can select the option single time or multiple time. In case if they are selecting single time, the file can be accessed, that is what is the service they are going to provide, they can be accessed only one time. And if they are violating that access policy, so that those will be identified. So you can see this part here. So here you can see a verifier entity. So here they are checking the double spending deduction. So double spending deduction is like they are checking whether it is being used single or multiple based on the access policy. So based on the access policy, the verifier provides the grant and deny. And now let me show you that part. So first let me select the single time and show you. So now let me click approve. And now you can see the status is being updated as approved. And now let me log out from this part. Before logging into the user part, I'll go to the verifier part and show you. And the login is successful. You can see the welcome screen for the verifier, and here you can see the downloaded file, user details, and double spent users. So now you can see there is only one user, double spended user. Now let me log out and go to the user part and show you. So once after logging in, go to download file. So here you can see the download files has been updated now with the file ID, the file name, requested date and time, on status is approved, and access policy is single time. And here you can see the button action. So once if you click this download button, it will be asking for the e-ticket. So it will be verifying for the e-ticket. So you can check your email where you will be receiving the e-ticket. So there you can see the file name, because a single user can get multiple tickets, so with different access for the different providers. So here you can see the file name and access type and what is the e-ticket about. So just let me use this e-ticket and click verify, and now you can see the file is been verified. In case if I'm giving a wrong one, it will be saying that the file is not correct, key is not correct. And here you can see the download file option, and I'll click the download. So I'm saving it in the desktop testing project. So you can see the file that we have that is uploaded by the ticket seller is being downloaded. And now let me go to the all files again, or download files again. Here you can see the file was already downloaded. Let me click download again, and it asks for the e-ticket. And now let me give the e-ticket again and click verify. You can see the access is being denied because the access policy was set by the ticket seller is for only single time. So now the access is being denied by this user. So now let me log out from this part and go to the verified part and show you. And in the verified part you can see the double spent users. So here you can see earlier there was one user, and now you can see the second user Jayaprakash is being updated as, because it is being used for the double spent. Okay, and in the verifier also you can see what are all the files that is downloaded by the users. So what is the file name, username, downloaded date and time, ticket seller name details, and user details is also updated here in the verifier part. And now let me log out from the verifier part, and now let me go to the user part. So now let me go to the user part and go to all files option. Now let me request for this file again with multiple access. Okay, so now let me log out and go to the ticket seller part, and go to requested files, and now you can see the file is being requested again by the user. And now I am showing you this option because I am going to approve it with a multiple times option. Okay, so I am showing you this because in case if the seller is giving you multiple times, what happens. So just give approve, and it has been approved. Now let me log out and go to the user part now. And go to download file, and you can click here. You can see the is been updated now, and tick download. And now you can see the mail with the new access policy, new file name, and just use this key e-ticket, and you can verify it. And now you can download this again. So let me name it as the same one with the adding a name number 1 in it, and just click save. And now again let me go to download file and download it. And now you can see you can able to download multiple times, because the access policy is set by the ticket seller is multiple times, so it does not violate any access. And this is all about the privacy preserving electronic ticket scheme with attribute based credentials project. And thank you for watching.